Greetings, petrolheads. Welcome back to Automation, and today we're gonna go ahead in our campaign a little bit more, and we have 1968 concept that I've still not given a name. We have the 1965 Vulture, we have the 1967 Kestrel. We still have the Buffalo intact. It's been facelifted in 1966, so why not? We have facelifted the sports car. So now I think what we do is go ahead to 1969. What a great number. And oh, what am I doing? 1972, 69. We should build a family car, a small family car, something like this, or maybe something like this. That's a little bit of an older style, though. It's not really. Don't we already have something like this going on? I can't remember. I don't think we do actually. I think what we go for is this, just a smaller four-door car, basically. And that would be basically I think we're gonna make multiple trims, a very cheap entry-level one, and then one with a lot of prestige, you know, great interior, just a luxurious one basically. Overall, I think just the monocoque chassis is better. We're gonna use galvanized steel because corrosion is an issue in Europe, where we will probably sell most of these cars. We're gonna place the engine longitudinally, put some double wishbones up front and some on the rear, and then make the panels from tooling costs are very low and material costs are average for aluminium here, for handmade alu, but production units are very high. Weight is also high. Let's make it from steel, I think, just because it's cheaper, usually. Yeah. Okay. So what tires can we fit here? 125? Excuse me. Yeah, probably with this rim diameter it's only 125s. In any case, we are going to put an AMW signature grille on this thing. Adjust the position before we adjust the length. And then we're gonna put a badge on that. Put some of these headlights on here. And for the base model, I think this is pretty much enough for the fixtures. We don't need extra, you know, refined headlights or anything like that, anything fancy. But we might change the look for the premium version later. Excuse me? Let's just to get rid of that right away. you know what, I think I'm probably better off just putting the indicators here. Maybe make something like, no, not that. Something like this happen as well. Like so, and then we put the number plate over there in the middle, and that is just a very simple front-end design for a simple base version of a family car, for a cheap family car. This is basically the one that replaces the small car that we had before, or is it? I don't know. No, it's gonna. I'm gonna revise the other small car that we have, the super small eco car. You remember? And I'm gonna make that just slightly revised in aesthetics and revise the engine a little bit. But the first generation of the Mini just was sold for decades, and it never really went out of style. And I hope people would feel the same about my small city car that I built that we start building in what, 1958? Make these a little bit smaller. Move them over here or something. Make them orange. There we go. And then we're gonna fit one batch, actually, not some batches. One. Just one. One is enough. And a number plate. And then of course we also fit some exhausts onto this thing. Given that this is the base version, I'm just gonna fit some regular old ones onto this thing. And that is basically it. That is our, base version here. 69. I'm gonna think of a name a little bit later. I'm not good at thinking of creative names when I'm recording. Of course, this is gonna be rear-wheel drive. This is gonna be the budget version of it. Sure, let's make it red. And as far as engines go, obviously this being a cheap car, we're gonna put in an inline 4. And we're gonna make set inline 4 at about 1.6 liters, I would imagine. We have experience with push rods, but then again, I don't really fancy the idea of making this engine a push rod. We're gonna go with 4 valves per cylinder because that's kind of our thing as a company. Cast iron crank. Probably cast conrods and pistons as well. We're gonna make this thing just durable and not very powerful. Cam profile is gonna be low. Compression ratio is also gonna be really low. Gonna lean this thing out all the way. Definitely not choosing mechanical injection because it's way too expensive. Regular leaded, something around here, 4800 RPM. At 2-barrel carb maybe? Short cast exhaust header, and then 2 reverse flow mufflers. We're knocking by how much? By a lot actually. Holy crap. Oh wait. I can go all the way up to here. 64.8 horsepower. There we go. 5000 RPM rev limit is easily justifiable, I think. Excuse me? This is supposed to move the max power downwards, not upwards. At 4800 RPM, so we can increase this. We have 65.8 horsepower, which is enough. 66.5 even. 82.8 is the limit here. 67 horsepower. That's good. Well, it's not good, but it's acceptable. So this is the 1969 1.6 liter 16 valve. Let's call this the Eco, even though 18% efficiency is not really what you'd call economical. Let's call this the 1.6 budget, because other than the 4-valve per cylinder setup, there's really nothing expensive on this engine. $525 to make. Automatic or manual? Let's say we want this thing to be a manual. Is it gonna be? Yeah, an automatic is more expensive. So 4-speed manual should definitely be enough. Let's have some nice little overrun. I mean, it's probably gonna go faster than 83 anyway. It's probably also gonna go faster than 100 miles an hour. I don't know though. We'll see. This is where the fun begins, really. 14-inch rims, 145s. And actually, it should be enough, shouldn't it? Hard long life road tires. A little bit of offset. We're gonna give this thing a 1-piston front brake setup and then rear drums. No under tray because we don't want to waste money on that. It's not a sports car or anything. It's also not an off-roader. Gonna give it more than enough cooling. Then 5 seats. Standard interior is, I think, still cheap enough. Basic entertainment. No power. Actually, yes, power steering. And then the standard safety. Is easily enough. And then just a comfortable setup here. This is a very light car actually, lighter than I expected. Also, why am I using MPG still? I don't know. 49.1 drivability. We're not suffering too much wheel spin actually. 8.8% is definitely not too bad. What if we gear third gear to 60 miles an hour? What is our acceleration time? 13.9 seconds. Okay, so that's definitely not worth it. it as drivable as possible. What about this? Oh, this is looking pretty good actually. What we are still gonna do is increase the front spring stiffness maybe. 50.2. That lowered it a little bit. That increased it. Increase the rear camber. That's good. Aggressive springs? Yeah, definitely. 51 drivability in a 1969 river drive car with 145mm rear tires. Okay, I'm content with this. This is cheap. It is drivable. It is practical. 21.1. It's got 5 seats. It's got, you know, economy that is not absolutely terrible. And well, that's that. It's okay. It's not fantastic, but rarely is a budget car really fantastic. So we are gonna go ahead and create. You know what? since I tend to call the since I tend to call my coupes after birds, this is like a goose. I know this isn't a coupe, but I'm also gonna make a coupe version out of this. And goose is just, you know, it's probably kind of an adequate name for this, isn't it? So I'm gonna make some aesthetic changes to the premium version as well. This is gonna be the premium. So what do we do? We make these ones chromed. That already gives it a much more high quality impression. Alrighty, that is going to be the premium front end, and then on the rear we replace these kind of shitty exhaust with some more chromed ones. You know what? Take these. At least they're from chrome. And then we're gonna put some more chrome onto the rear. Also, we should make one version that has just way too much power for its rear tires to handle of this car, and then call it the silly goose. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that though. That's just probably a step too far. And why not also make the door handles from chrome on the premium version? And look at it, it's much nicer to look at, isn't it? There we go. So with that, we're gonna clone this. Actually no, we're gonna instead check and see what we have as far as engines go. We have a 1968 V6, and I'm thinking we're gonna choose one of those. Or maybe we're gonna choose, no, that is from the other concept car, the ones. I think I'm gonna just detune the V6 to an extent that it can be used in a family car. So definitely no performance intake. 4-barrel twin carburetor is still fine as is, but you know, just go way down on here, and then go way down on here, 14.5 maybe. Definitely gonna reduce the max RPM. Gonna reduce the cam profile. To a more reasonable extent. Also, I'm gonna decrease the compression even more, so we can run it on regular leaded. This is a pretty nice torque curve overall. And can we get this one a bit up here further? No, we cannot. As far as the materials go, we have great materials in here. Oh, yeah, sure, we're gonna decrease the stroke ratio of this engine so we can do it a little bit more easily. 3.8 liters is still easily enough to get this thing moving at a fine pace. Okay, this is restrictive now slightly, and 226 horsepower is enough. Okay, good. I'm content with this. Should also have some better economy than the 4-liter concept car. Okay, let's stick with this. Of course, the drivability suffered. We have a lot of wheel spin now. Just an absolute shitload of wheel spin. And I don't know how we can compensate for that. Obviously, tires are going to make a difference. And also a diff, probably. It didn't do all that much. The only thing I think we can still do is increase the tire quality or make it run on sports tires, perhaps. That didn't change much. Only reduced wheel spin by 0.1%. It did make it faster in acceleration, but that's not really the point of this car anyway. What will decrease the wheel spin probably is some better weight distribution, which we might have achieved with the interior choices we made. Then again, the wheel spin is still unaffected by that for some reason. That made the wheel spin worse. Having longer gearing made it worse. I don't quite agree with that. First gear up to over 60 miles an hour. Or is it? Well, in any case, we seem to have solved some of the wheel spin issues. Of course, this is much more expensive than the base version, but that is, you know, kind of the idea behind this car. Do we put a phonograph in here? Yeah, let's do it. And why not put some advanced safety in there as well? No, just no. Actually, yes. Look at that safety difference. More than 11 points. And now, this is a muscle car? It's a family sport premium car. Definitely. 82.4% affordability. Look at the price of this thing. It's so cheap. Sportiness? Sportiness is a factor here as well. Comfort, prestige, yeah, pretty much all the 5 main stats, and then practicality and cornering and acceleration. Let's see how she does on a straight line, in a straight line. Doesn't reach 100 kilometers now in first gear. So what we will do is make it so she does. There we go. Alrighty then. Why are these two categories pinned for this car? Let's just remove this and pin like this. And muscle, I guess? Even though this is by no means intended to be a muscle car. And then this is the premium 4-door. So now we're gonna go ahead and clone this. The budget will only be a 4-door. Because if you want a cheap family car, then there's no reason to buy a cheap coupe, right? Like, it just wouldn't make sense. This is the 3.8 liter comfort tune. This is going to be the premium 2-door. This shouldn't change anything else other than the doors, and it didn't. That's nice. Give this thing a little bit of a longer rear window. More like this. Alrighty. And go to the trim, see if we have to change anything. Probably not. But you know what? Why do we have so much offset? Oh. Well, because it benefits us, that's why. Oh, also we didn't change the suspension on the premium cars. So that does nothing for us. Is this, yeah, that's really good. Increasing the rear spring stiffness just a little bit will help us out quite a lot. Keep in mind, this is still like not a sports car, so we are not going for maximum sportiness, which is why I think we're gonna just leave it the way it is now, right? So what did we do exactly? We increased the rear spring stiffness to 1.8, I think. Other than that, it should be the same as before. So let's go back to the 4-door. Go here. There we go. Yeah, that should be it. Alrighty. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Leave a like, leave a comment if you did. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.